So the Witcher 4 trailer dropped, and boy do people love it. Well, yes, of course, a lot of people love it, but there are some people who are very, well, let's just say they think that the creators of the game have broken the canon lore. And in this video, I'm going to give you 4 reasons why those people are actually correct. I'm going to use the actual text written by Andrzej Sapkowski, the actual books, to prove why Ciri should not be a Witcher. Now then, before we talk about all that, my name's Afan. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing great. I'm doing just lovely, and welcome to the channel. Now then, I just want to clarify that I personally do not have an issue with Ciri becoming a Witcher, as that was sort of the narrative along the games in The Witcher 3, and also the text. Ciri has wanted to become a Witcher. She was obviously raised by Geralt as well, but at the same time, Geralt and pretty much all the other mages have forbade the Witchers from training Ciri, and that's what we're going to talk about. So, I mean, I understand the decision of making her a Witcher because from The Witcher 3, we had come to the conclusion that Geralt was probably not going to make a comeback, and Ciri was probably going to become a Witcher, but people do not like that, and here is why. So, reason number 1, the trial. Trial of the grasses and mutation. So, in order for someone to become a Witcher, see, a Witcher is not born a Witcher. They go through a brutal and dangerous process, which is called the trial of the grasses, and this involves exposure to mutagenic alchemical substances that transform and enhance their physiology, granting superhuman reflexes, heightened senses, and faster healing, which is something that we saw. They can drink the Witcher potions, and that was on display in the Witcher 4 trailer, and we also see the mutations take place in real time. Now, this has been explicitly mentioned in the Blood of Elves, Book 1 of the main saga. Geralt explicitly explains to Ciri that the process is deadly and rarely successful. Traditionally, only boys are subjected to the trial because its effects on girls are believed to be unpredictable, and it has historically never been performed on them. And of course, Ciri has not undergone this trial, which means she lacks the mutated physiology of a Witcher. Without mutations, she simply cannot possess those superhuman abilities, and therefore she cannot become a Witcher. Now, I'll share a quote here from Blood of Elves. Girls were never subjected to the trials. No one really knows why. It is said that the herbs, the elixirs, and the changes they induce in the body act differently on girls. It's also said that no girl has ever survived the trial. No one knows the truth because no one has ever tried to find out. Geralt from the Book of Elves. Thus, the systemic belief that girls do not survive the trials effectively excludes Ciri from becoming a traditional Witcher, and it is supported by the text. Now, I also understand the counter-argument, which is that it is not said why exactly girls do not go through. It's simply that they believe that girls should not go through it, and it has never really been tried, as Geralt mentioned himself. So the counter-argument is, well, it has never been tried. So maybe they tried it with Ciri, because in the trailer it is also very explicitly shown from the physique and look of Ciri that she's not the same Ciri that we see in The Witcher 3. Therefore, she might have gone through the trials, and it might have worked out differently, because as explicitly mentioned, no one knows the truth because no one has ever tried to find out. So the line about no girl has ever survived the trial, I mean, right after there's the second line, which clearly shows that that line should be taken with a grain of salt. So I understand both perspectives. Reason number 2 why Ciri cannot become a Witcher. It is Ciri's unique destiny. Now, destiny is a very important part of this world. Ciri's significance in the series is tied to her elder blood and magical abilities, which far exceed the scope of a Witcher's physical training or alchemical enhancement. Her destiny is linked to her heritage as a descendant of Lara Doran and the power of the elder blood, which grants her the ability like traveling between worlds and very powerful magic, the Gate of Worlds as they like to call it. Now, in the book Time of Contempt, Yennefer and others emphasize that Ciri's magic is her true strength, not Witcher abilities, but her magic. Now, she does train in combat at Kaer Morhen, learning swordsmanship and agility techniques, but these are learned skills, not inherent Witcher powers. I'll share a quote here from Time of Contempt from Ciri herself. I can't cast signs or drink potions. I'm not a Witcher. I'm just a girl with a sword. Now, here Ciri herself acknowledges this distinction. She has combat prowess, yes, but does not possess the physiological changes that define in witchers. Casting signs is a very important part of being a witcher, and obviously drinking the potions, as that changes your whole physiology, giving you that superhuman ability as I talked about in point 1. Now, of course, that is only possible from the trials, and a counter here would be, well, I guess the same counter in point 1, which was that, well, I guess if she successfully goes through the trials, which is very rare, as I have explicitly mentioned, then she can do all these things. And of course, her magic is way more powerful than a witcher, so casting signs shouldn't really be an issue. But regardless, she can't cast signs, and she hasn't done the trial, so that's 2 points in favor of her not becoming a witcher. Point number 3 of why she cannot become a witcher. Ciri's training is simply not complete. Yes, she trains at Kaer Morhen under Geralt, Vesemir, and other witchers. Her training is limited. I mean, she learns to fight, balance, and use reflexes, but she does not gain access to witcher-specific powers like enhanced senses, resistant to toxin, or the ability to use mutagenic potions. Her training focuses simply on swordsmanship and combat techniques, and Ciri becomes very highly skilled with the sword, thanks to Geralt's mentorship, of course. She also learns survival skills, tracking, agility, and basic defense techniques. And like we mentioned already, she cannot cast signs, which she herself mentioned, but as we know, her magic is tied to her elder blood, not the rudimentary signs which are used. So her casting Ard, it's her elder blood. And I have a very good feeling about the fact that they're really going to shove the elder blood in our face as to why she can become a witcher. I think that's going to be a major reason as to how she survives the trial, because without the trial of the grasses or the mutations, Ciri's combat abilities remains that of a very skilled human warrior, but not a witcher. So I think her being successful in the trials is going to come down to her elder blood. That's going to be a reason given, and that's fine. But nonetheless, it still remains so that she cannot become a witcher. Now, reason number 4 why she cannot become a witcher is the role of gender and tradition. See, the tradition in the continent is that the witcher schools exclude girls from being subjected to the trials. This reinforces the cultural and practical reasons why Ciri cannot officially become a witcher. In the blood of elves, Triss Merigold scolds witchers for putting Ciri through harsh training, recognizing that she's not a witcher and could not be treated as one. This highlights that even those closest to Ciri acknowledge that she's fundamentally different. I mean, all of this just concludes that Ciri simply cannot become a witcher in the traditional sense, because when she has not undergone the trial of the grasses, and it is implied no girl has ever survived it. Implied is the important word. She lacks the physical mutations that define a witcher. Her power comes from her elder blood and magical destiny, which sets her apart from, obviously, witchers and everybody else, really. Now, of course, Ciri is often called a witcher as a symbolic title because of her upbringing, training, and her connection to Geralt and the other witchers at Kaer Morhen, Vesemir, and so on. However, biologically and fundamentally, she remains a human with extraordinary magic and combat skills, not a mutated witcher. Now, all these points, of course, prove why she wasn't a witcher and why she might not be able to become a witcher, but as I mentioned, the counters to them are very valid, which is that it is implied, like I said, implication is the key word there, that girls have not yet survived, which is fine. I mean, even if it was known that no girl has ever survived, Ciri isn't just another girl. Like I said, she has a huge role to play in this world. I would say she's more important in this world than Geralt is, and she has a way bigger role to play, and I guess that's one of the reasons you can conclude as well is in terms of the story. I think Ciri is just so much bigger of a character, and she has such a bigger role to play than just that of a witcher, you know? So I do think that if they want to go with sort of a strong female character, I think giving Ciri her destiny, what she's meant to do, I think is far bigger, far better, and has far bigger implications on the content in general than her just becoming a witcher, to be perfectly honest. But that's the route they've taken. I've given reasons as to why she cannot be, but also have given some reasons as to why she might become a witcher in The Witcher 4. Like I said, either way, I don't have an issue with it. I think her fulfilling her destiny fine. I'm absolutely okay with that. I read the books and I loved it, and I loved her final role. Of course, if they put a bit of a twist on it, give it their own sort of role, that's totally fine with me as well. Ciri as a Witcher, fine. I would love to play with Ciri as a Witcher. I don't have an issue with either one of them, but there it is. According to the books, she cannot become a Witcher, but there might be a little bit of a leeway there. She might actually become a Witcher because the no girl has ever survived it line is soon after followed by, well, that might actually not be true because no one actually knows, because no one actually tried, and no one actually cares, more like, because it is a continent, let's be honest. It is not too kind to the other gender. Anyways, that's just the video. So let me know your thoughts, whether you think she can or cannot, whether you think this is a good idea, bad idea, are you looking forward to the game, so on and so forth, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, stay gaming, gamers.